on the back end here.
Yeah.
We're testing, making sure that we're good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Don't know what's going on here. So if you're seeing us, please comment that you're seeing us because
Right.
we are.
We
Shows
are.
live here. We are.
Okay.
We are
Thank
live.
praise the Lord
I
that
can
we
see us
are
on
live.
YouTube.
Okay.
Thank God for smartphones.
I was playing around with this platform earlier, and yeah, I think I pushed some wrong buttons. So, anyways, kicking off the show. Here we go. Me and Jay, we're gonna start from the very beginning. We were talking for like 5 minutes straight and didn't even realize that we were not live. So, sorry guys, but here we go. We're gonna kick this off the right way.
I'm
You know,
lost.
it's
There I am. I'm found again.
it's really funny. It's like if we were just recording this, we could like totally edit that all out and like, oh yeah, no big deal, never would
Yeah,
know.
we
But
meant to do all that.
feel like a complete fool when we're live.
Right.
But anyways, welcome to the show, everybody. This is Hitting the Chip, episode 3, and the title for this one is "And So It Begins." So, with that being said, race season's finally here. Like
Woo-woo.
we are here. Doesn't seem real, in a sense, but um, but yeah, it's already April 29th, and kickoff to the season is upon us. So looks like it's going to be beautiful weather for this weekend too. Like I know there's supposed to be some rain in the forecast for like Thursday, but
Mhm.
but we got a great show lined up for you. Um, Lots of stuff to talk about. Review from last weekend. Look forward to what's going on this weekend. You know, talk about the lineup and the schedule. We also have some exciting things to share. Things that we've been trying to have in the works for a little while now, but we actually have some news on that. So stick around towards the end of the show and we'll kind of reveal that. With that being said, um, gonna kick it off to Jake here, and we're gonna kind of talk about this last weekend. Him and I were well, nobody was watching. We're kind of discussing um, the lineup and stuff from last weekend and some of the changes that they had made to how the flow of practice went. So I don't know if you want to touch on that real quick.
Yeah. It was nice because they obviously went from Bandoleros to Legends, Pure Stock, Super Stocks. It was like they kind of went up in class in terms of like not only car size, but really level of car, right? So, Super Stocks, Pure Stocks being kind of a lower budget, well, seemingly a lower budget for some people, but other people not so much. But
Cray
it just
cray.
kind of kept a good flow, I think, where instead of having like bandos and then super stocks and then legends and then super late models and then trucks and then gams and then it kind of went from like the seemingly slower cars all the way up to the faster cars, and then we ended the like the lineup with two sprint cars, wingless sprint cars. So that was cool to see them out there. A couple of those sessions, I think when the track kind of got hot, some of them were or the two of them, I should say, not some of them. Um, got a little squirrely. It looked like they were kind of dirt tracking it a little bit, so they were on the looser side, and it was kind of like just pull off the track before you just
Yeah.
do something you don't want to do. But I've never driven a sprint car, so I'm sure they're a handful. But I'm sure the guys that were knew what they were doing, and obviously you want to try and get as much practice time in as possible, especially with the sprint cars. You got to push start them, so it's like try and get as much as you can while you're out there, while you're already started, right? But I thought we had a pretty good amount of cars. I mean, there was a ton of super stock, pure stocks out there, a good amount of legends, um, a couple trucks, a couple late models. There was actually a good amount of late models. I thought there could have been a little bit more, but I thought there, was a pretty good amount. And then you had a good amount of gams. I know we're missing still a lot, but I think a lot of guys are just doing private practices for right now and getting ready for 2 weeks. So and then super late models, I think there was what, 3, 4 of them.
I didn't get a
all
chance to
day.
go over and watch
Yeah,
them
I
at
didn't get
least.
to watch them, but, and then the 2 sprint cars, so I thought that, we had a good amount of cars, the pits were full, especially with a lot of spectators. I don't know why I went redneck right there. But, yeah, I thought overall it was a good day. It was cold and then hot, and then the clouds come over and kinda cold and then hot, and got sunburnt when you didn't think so. I mean, you can kinda see the tan line going on right there, but,
Well, I
very
like how the flow of the day went, like, the schedule was a little bit more user-friendly, if you will, like, you
mhm,
know how they put it out a couple days before practice that they were gonna open the gates at 10, you know, tech and get your tickets was gonna be at 11, and then track was hot at noon. I think that gave people ample time to get set up, get the cars out, you know, get your tickets, get over to tech, and then you know, they knew exactly what time the track was going to be hot. Unlike the first practice, it was like everything was open at 11 o'clock, and then half hour later they're calling the bando kids over to the racetrack. But
half
and
of them are still
granted,
in
like,
line to get safety teched.
yeah, well, and granted, there was a ton of cars, you know, just getting safety tech there because there was a ton of cars there the first one.
Mhm,
There was a ton of cars here on this one, but the tech line wasn't nearly as long. You know, there was a lot of, I would say, repeat drivers there from the first one, which is great because, you know, we were there. So we were able to get Addie's car over there and get it checked out, take mine over there, get it checked out right away. And that was my biggest worry is like, shit, we got to get there and get it unloaded and get them through so that way we can, you know, go do our normal thing that we do when we get to the racetrack.
mhm.
But yeah, I
When it
thought the
seemed like
flow
there was
was. Go ahead.
Well, it seemed like there was a lot more tech officials there helping out from what it sounds like you said the first time. You said there was, like, only what, like 2?
Yeah, there was only a couple of them the first time, but yeah, they
Yeah,
had
they
like
were
4 of
short.
them working this
Yeah.
time. So, but, and 2, you know, we've talked about it previously on at least our show, right? Where to have the opportunity when you're doing safety check, and correct me if I'm wrong for other people, but at least for us and with my car, they didn't really do it with the bandos. The bandos are kind of their own thing, but, you know, my car, they were kind of looking at it and going through things and be like, you know, we need to check this, we need to check that, which you know, hats off a little bit to them for, you know, kind of pointing things out that there could be an issue towards, or if, you know, you're measuring something and something's wrong, you have the opportunity to fix it before the season even starts.
Mhm.
And they go, hey, yeah, you need to look at X, Y, and Z. Okay, well, let's look at it right now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I think that's something that definitely needed to be done. So then hopefully as you go through the progression of the season, right, like we've talked about in the past, um you know, you don't have to have these questions being brought up. You know, I mean, if
Mhm.
you're looking at somebody's car and you think something's wrong with it, then go look at it and point it out to them. Be like, hey, that's wrong, you need to fix it.
Right.
And in that way, you know, you get into the roll of season, you don't have to worry about it. And then if they get checked, right, well, I told you before the season started that you need to fix that shit and you didn't. So
Exactly.
now you can really enforce a harsher penalty if that's the case, right?
Right.
So um
Yeah, it was, and I know they're trying to get cars through and safety tech and everything, and they, only maybe looked at a couple little quick things that they can
mhm,
visually and obviously notice, like body lines and, spoilers and, making sure stuff like that's right, and, I know
right.
previous years, I don't know if anybody in the other classes, had issues with, like, bodies and stuff, but obviously with the GAMs, it's not built around a specific car
Exactly.
design, or, things are made by a specific company where you have to have a sticker on it or something, and you have your freedom to kinda do what you want with the bodies, and I know they're really trying to crack down this year. Well, at least it seems like from the start of Saturday that it kinda seems like they wanna crack down on that, early on, then rather than have a protest with 3 or 4 races to go on a body that ran all year, the same way.
Right.
So, I like that, you know?
I mean, I do, but I mean, the opposite effect of that is there was a couple things that we got asked about, right? And it's like, it's in your rule book. And they
Oh,
go,
yeah.
"What? No, it's not." And then you open up the rule book and you show them, "Oh yeah, I guess it is." Well, it's like,
No.
why? How you
Yeah.
gonna question me on it when it's clearly states
Right
black and
there.
white, that and then the opinions part of it comes in, right? Like, well, I don't like that, or I don't like this. Well, I don't your rule book, then fix your rule
Right.
book at that point. Like,
Mhm.
don't perfect example, the transponder. They
Oh, yeah.
measured the transponder distance because it's based off the front of the car, furthest part of the front of the car back. And in our rule book for the GAMS, it says 106 inches. And Tim, and nothing against Tim, but he goes, well, it's supposed to be 160. I'm like, okay, well, so you
It's
need to
right
move
now,
it. I'm like,
106.
but the rule book says 106. Well, the rule book's wrong. Well, then fix the rule book.
Yeah, it's been like that for 5 years since
Yeah.
I've started racing.
We're going off of what's being stated in the rule book, right? Like, we spend all winter long, everybody goes through their shit, and
And
if
they
it's
have
not
all
in
winter
there,
long to go through and nitpick the rules, and, I
right,
mean, a lot of the rules for about 4 or 5 of the classes, they did, and
right,
it's like you coulda just reread all of the other rules in there to make sure, "Hey, are we tidying this up and make sure it's right?"
right. It
Yeah.
and that's the exact point, right? Like, going through it thoroughly, right? Like, not just having us put in our input over email of what we think we need to be changed, and then just only addressing those specific things. Like, if there's something in there that is wrong, then fix it and get it out to people, and don't wait until now. Like, granted, now the transponder positioning is not that big a deal, right? Like, we could easily change that, and everybody could. But it's just the principle of it, right? Like, it says one thing in the rule book, and you're telling me it's different by word of mouth.
Mhm.
Like, so what am I supposed to go off of here? What you say or what the rule book
Rule
says?
book says. Yeah,
Right.
I will go by the rule book 110% every time.
Every time. Every time. So, anyways, so yeah, I'd be interested to hear if anybody else had that same situation where they were getting their cars kind of more thoroughly looked through. Um, which again, like, I'm okay with, right? Like, I'd
Mhm.
rather, if there's any discrepancies or if you think something's wrong, let's measure it. Um, let's address it right now before we get into the start of the season. Because the last thing I wanted to happen is you go finish in the top 5 and they go, well, you know, this looks
How
wrong, and
how you win a
yeah,
race.
or you win, right?
Yeah.
And then you're having to deal with that bullshit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But it was a
But
fun day, I thought,
no,
otherwise,
great day. It was
you
beautiful
know,
outside.
beautiful
Fuck,
outside.
it was hot.
Thankfully, I think there was one car, I think in the super stocks or pure stocks, apparently had blown a motor or something, but or maybe it was the late models. Whatever what was before you?
The late
I heard
models.
yeah, the late models, but that wasn't confirmed. Maybe it was just something happened, they shut the car off or something, but there was no oil on the track, so that was good. Didn't have to clean that up. But, yeah, overall good day, a lot of people there. A lot of good looking cars. Uh, Brett Yackey, his truck's looking real nice. Again, like we talked about,
Brian.
kind of seeing Brian, sorry, Brian. Brett was out there, so at least I'm right on that.
I
But
talked
yeah,
to him
Brian.
actually Saturday about that.
Yeah, he was walking by our trailer and you were talking to him.
Yeah, I was like, that was actually a pretty cool, process to watch that truck come together over the off season. So he said it wasn't his idea. So that was, he said it was
Hey,
his girlfriend. I think he said it was his girlfriend's idea to do that,
if it
which I
gets you
thought was pretty
getting
cool.
reaction and people are looking at your
Mhm.
Facebook page,
Well, and it's, I mean, as soon as race
engaging with the
seasons,
fans.
yeah, exactly. Like, as a fan, it's cool to see the behind the scenes stuff. And a lot of people are close to the chest about their stuff and what they're doing.
Mhm.
And I totally respect that. Like, nothing against people, but it is kind of cool as a fan, even still, we're still fans of racing. It's cool to see what people are doing behind the scenes and the updates that they're doing, and even paint schemes, right? Like, as people are
Mhm.
revealing of what they got coming out for the season and whatnot. I mean,
Yeah,
it's fun. Get those
Ben
little
Hendricks posted today, pictures of his car, his late model. It looked
Mhm.
really good.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Mhm.
I like that paint scheme. Adam Hilton has been posting videos and pictures of all the people going to Dyno Pro and getting on their stuff on the dyno and whatnot. And
That
did
Hardee's
you
car looks fricking
I was gonna say, did you see that,
awesome.
was it Justin Young's car?
Is
I
that the
think
Hardee's car?
yeah, the Hardy's car.
Yeah, that thing is spectacular.
If you
I
guys
don't
haven't seen it yet,
again, it's like it's pristine. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even think you should race it. You should just go it should just be a show car for, promotions for, Days of Thunder, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. It is. I mean, and they got the colors like
Perfect.
perfect. Absolutely perfect. It
Mhm,
does it looks better than the one he ran last year.
mhm.
And I love the old school look and feel and paint schemes to those cars. I mean, it really sets up the nostalgia part of
Right.
it, for racing in general. And to see that one roll out, it was like, damn, dude, that's badass.
Mhm.
So, um, but yeah, agree with you. I think Saturday was a great day overall. It was good to see some more cars even continue to come out to the racetrack and take the opportunity to do some practice. We saw what, two or three new modifieds out there.
Yep.
Um, I think there was another. I know there was a couple more uh, pure stock, super stocks out there too.
Yeah.
Definitely saw a few more in there. So I mean,
Mhm.
suspect 40 of them freaking cars to show up again,
Oh, yeah.
and
We
we'll
run we run with them in 2 weeks, so it'll be kinda crazy to see how many show up.
yeah,
I'm sure there's gonna be about 40 of them that show up.
man, and that's so cool. Like I wish they would just run them both together, but maybe eventually. I
Yeah.
know everybody kind of like hates on me for that, but seeing 40 of them fucking cars out on the racetrack at one time it's just badass.
Mhm.
It really does become the best
Well,
show.
and, nothing against people that work on their stuff and bring it out, and you wanna race against the car class of like yours, but this is an opportunity for you to do like a B main, and you could still do stuff with the B main
Mhm.
to, incentivize the people still that came out. You can, I don't know how you would do maybe a point system or something, but you want to reward the people that get out and get their cars right and make the A main. I mean, everybody across America does B mains, um, but you know it's our opinion. You don't have to like it or not.
Well, I
But
mean, to your point, we technically already do that with the Legends cars. They do that fast and slow,
mhm.
right? Like however you classify it, fast, slow, A, B,
You're still
big,
gonna get the
small.
same amount of racing in.
Yeah,
It's not
exactly.
like
Like,
you came out and you're only got, like, a 10-lap heat race and a qualifying session and went home and spent, 500-600 bucks for the night. You run a B main, you run, what do they run usually? 25 laps for the pure stocks, super stocks?
mhm.
You run 20 laps or 15, I don't know. Maybe up them to 30 and give the B main a 20 lapper, and then everybody else, class-wise, late models up, run 40 to 50.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but I guess wishful thinking.
Wishful thinking.
Yeah.
And who knows what the future might hold, to be
Right.
honest with you. We don't know. It's really funny if anybody hasn't been a part of this Facebook group, it's like what is it called? Colorado National Speedway Memories from like 89 to I forget what it is. I forget like the time period, but if you get a chance to go look up, and I'm sure somebody is probably going to list off the name here in the comment section, but um, Mike Bremkamp, Mark Bremkamp's dad and Scott Bremkamp's dad has been posting old programs from like back in the 90s on
Mhm.
this Facebook page and stuff. And so I was looking at the one it was from 94
Oh,
and
like
it went
like that
through
last
uh,
week?
yeah, he posted like last week, right? And it was awesome because it was really funny, but back then they only ran well, they technically had 5 divisions, right? They had late models, GAMs, super stocks, figure eights, and then the trains. They had introduced the trains at that point. That was it. Those were the only
And it
divisions
ran
running
every night.
every night.
I think I looked at it, the GAMs and the late models didn't run one night. That was it. They ran every single night other than,
Yeah,
like, one night, and
back
I
yep.
think every class did that, but it was like a special race or something, like when, um, that same year, it was like a Corelli, um, Mike Schrader came out or something like that kinda race,
Mhm.
and so you only had, like, 2 classes that night, right? So, obviously, 2 or 3 classes didn't race, so it was like ones like those, like a special race, they had to cut down on the classes, but everything else, yeah, they ran 26, no, 23 races, I think, that year for most of the classes.
Well, and you looked at the the
The lineup.
registered cars,
Yeah.
right? There was like 40 some modifieds,
There
50
was like
some.
70 super stocks.
Yeah,
It
oh
was
my
like
god,
2 and a
super
half
stock.
pages of names.
It's fucking nuts. It was nuts back then. I mean, and I remember those days vividly, and I'm sure you do too.
Mhm.
I mean, you remember back when practice used to start at like 1 o'clock, noon,
Mhm.
because they had so many cars and so many divisions. Because back then, the two they wouldn't, and I'm pretty sure, I'm like 75, 80% sure of this, but they wouldn't let the whole, because they had so many, they wouldn't let you all go out at one time. Like they only let like 10, 15 cars out at a time for practice.
Mhm.
So it took so much longer to get through it, but still, right? Like it was
Mhm.
it's crazy to see how many cars back then were there. And now granted, we probably have close to the same amount overall now, but we just have so many more divisions. It's
Yeah.
crazy,
Mhm.
you know. But
Right.
but yeah, I applaud Mike for posting all that stuff
I
because
applaud him for keeping all that stuff.
exactly. It's so cool to see all of that. The history is like, fuck, I was at that race, or I remember that. You see
Mhm.
like a picture of a crash. It's like, oh shit, I remember that.
Mhm.
So anywho,
Yeah. Yeah. All
but
memories.
good memories, great
Mhm.
memories, lots actually.
Yeah. But,
But go ahead.
yeah, back to Saturday. Like we said, there was a barbecue, for the, driver appreciation, and, the new owners were out handing out some swag. Got my, official Colorado National Speedway hat and our, 60th anniversary of Colorado National Speedway shirt. It says that on the back. I don't wanna get up and show it, but if you were there, you saw it. Hopefully, you got a free hat or a free shirt or both. Um, but yeah, it was good to see them, talk to them, I kinda stood there while they were handing out stuff and just listening to people, talk to them and, their interactions back, and, I mean, there's a lot of excited people, for what they've done so far and the excitement going forward, and, you could see it on their faces that they were very happy and excited for people to appreciate what they've done and what they're going to do, going forward. So that was nice. Had a little. We didn't get any food because we were going to come home and watch the Avs game at home, game 4. We don't even talk about the game 5, but yeah, we came home and saved our appetite for some wings. But yeah, it was overall, I thought, a good day.
Do we want to touch
Yeah.
on the improvements that we saw even since the last time we were there?
Oh yeah. I mean, shoot, they have almost every every building is almost painted. They said they'll have every building painted by this Saturday, and it's nice that they've had some good weather to get that done. The biggest thing, and I'm loving this, thank goodness, we've talked about this on the previous episodes and on our previous podcast. Um, you can visually see they scraped the entire wall on the track. Yeah, and there's no chips or anything, and they are repainting the entire wall. And we kinda already know that because this I guess I'm looking at myself backwards, so hopefully I'm pointing to you. Um,
Nope.
this guy No, this way?
Yeah,
Okay, good. Uh,
that's funny.
uh, but, they are going to I guess, do you wanna announce that since it's your deal?
Sure. Yeah, I can announce it. So, started this process back, October of last year. Um, wanted to have AAA's been wanting to AAA service, meaning they've been wanting to have some sort of billboard or some sort of ad placement at the racetrack for a couple years now, and fortunate enough for the racetrack, there all those billboards and stuff up in turn 4 have always been sold. They got the big lighted sign and whatnot that when you're coming off the racetrack, there's like a big lighted sign right between the stands and the entrance or the entrance to the pits. Um, but I came up with an idea of having like a restart zone for the racetrack. And I approached Jim and talked to the powers to be there, and had this idea about having like a true restart zone instead of just the start finish or the start line, coming out of turn 4, but like just like they do in NASCAR, you enter in the zone and then the leader can take off in that zone at any point. And so kind of got the ball rolling on that. And I'm excited about it. It's not going to be a true restart zone, but the start line will be pink, and then on the wall leading up to the start line, it's going to be all pink, and it's going to have AAA service on it. So it'll be the AAA service start line this year, and for however long we decided to like do this going forward.
Mhm.
But yeah, so that's kind of like a new added thing to the racetrack this year that we worked on, me and Jacob worked on pretty hard for 6 months now, and finally got it to land.
Mhm.
So super excited about that for AAA and for hopefully you guys. I tried I tried really hard, went back and forth quite a bit about having like a true restart zone, but they just couldn't quite come to grips with it. So, it is what it is, but it's still going to be kind of exciting. It'll be something different, but
Mhm.
do you want to also talk about the tidbit that we heard about on Saturday
Well, should we, or should we kind of wait for Jim to
officially?
announce that one to officially?
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's going to be official, but we had heard word about
Yeah,
it.
I don't care if I get in trouble.
I don't
I'm
care if
doing
I get in trouble.
I'm doing it.
Whatever. I mean, we were approached about it, and
Yeah,
asked about it, so
I
might as
mean, we
well.
had, give credit to Kyle Clegg, because he's the original person that kinda brought the idea ahead a couple years ago and then tried to really hard to do it last year, and then it's just kinda funny now that he's gone, it might come to fruition. So, while I was kinda standing there, um, talking with Jim and the owners, he was like, what do you think about a choose cone? What is this idea? I've heard about it, we've talked about it, and I'm always indifferent about it." I was like, "Well, it's a good idea, I think, if you wanna try it, if you wanna give the field the option to choose their own lane, then I say go for it," And he was like, "Oh, I think we're really looking into the idea and might try it." So, he was asking specifics of, where does it need to be, and how are we gonna do it and stuff. So, we kinda pinpointed, I don't know how far back from the start finish line it's gonna be, but it's pretty much gonna be halfway in between, roughly, uh, the exit of turn 4 and the start finish line. There's gonna be a big bright, I think it's gonna be pink, but we're not sure yet.
Yeah,
It's
I don't
gonna be
know.
bright either way, so you can see it. But there's gonna be a choose cone arrow, about halfway between turn 4 and the start finish line, and you can choose your own lane. So if you wanna stick to the bottom, you can. If you're in 6th place and, the top 5 go to the bottom, and you wanna go up to the top and go all the way to the front, go right ahead.
Mhm.
So, it's not 100% confirmed yet, like George said, but it is an idea that's being tossed around, and I like the idea, and Jordan and I kinda help pinpoint where the arrow needs to be, and kinda how it needs to be monitored, because obviously you need to choose your lane before you hit the arrow or the cone, so that way it's decisive, "Okay, this guy went to the bottom, this guy went to the top, this lady went to the top, this lady went to the bottom." So, we'll see, but it's kinda one of those things where, like, maybe the flag man or somebody up in the pit tower, or not the pit tower, the front stretch tower, really needs to be paying attention when it comes time to choose your lane. Because the rules from what I've seen across America and even NASCAR is if you touch a tire on that choose cone, doesn't matter what you choose, you're going to the back. You need to
Mhm.
make sure you make a decisive move before you touch that cone, or else you're going to the back. And so we'll see. I think it's a good idea. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think it's just another additive, right? To the again, we're still it's still it's supposed to be entertaining, right? Like, and this is
Mm,
another thing that adds to that. Is it a twist on the classic way we've done things? Yes, it is. There are certain racetracks where I'm going to use Vegas for instance.
you know, that racetrack, it's a 1-lane racetrack all the way around it, and it's the bottom. The cool thing about CNS is you can run 2 lanes and be fast there. So it's really going to be interesting to see if they end up doing this. Again, this isn't 100% confirmed, but we were just kind of told about it. And the gentleman that's going to be like painting the walls and painting this arrow on, he approached us and asked us about it. So if it does go through, I think it'd be just a cool little twist. I mean, my worry is that somehow it gets messed up and people just not paying attention or understanding fully how it's supposed to be done, and then people are just everywhere, right? But even in the past, and I'm guilty of this, where there's a situation where you're towards the rear of the field and guys don't know where to line up, and there's a hole shot on the outside lane. I mean, I've done it. I'm just like, screw you guys. You guys can't figure out where you're supposed to line up.
Yeah.
I'm just going. Like,
I'm not okay. I'll go up there.
Exactly. Like, I'm not playing in this game with you guys. Like, hell no. I'm just gonna get in line and get ready to start the race again. So, in that essence, you just pick a lane and you go, no matter what at that point. So,
it'll be interesting for coming up to the line, because it's like you want to give yourself room in front of between you and the person in front of you, right? So that way you see where they're going. And for the classes that have spotters, you got to kind of get some information from them, like, oh, okay, like 4 people went to the, say you're in 7th place,
yeah,
right? Oh, okay, 4 people went to the bottom, 2 people went to the top, go to the top.
Yeah.
Well, now you're sitting in, 1 position ahead, right? So it's kind of a strategy game where you gotta kind of pay attention and work with your spotter to kind of see what's going on. And if you're kind of in that position where it doesn't really matter, then you just pick a lane and go.
And that's so true. I mean, your spotter is really going to have to be on his game now to see and help guide you where you should go, like watching what's going on in front of you, because it can be a huge advantage, like we've seen in the past at Las Vegas, right? Like in the open wheel race a couple years ago. Nathan Gasser was sitting like, I don't know, like 12th or 13th or something like that, right? And everybody chose the bottom and he chose the top and moved up like 8 positions on the restart, and then ended up finishing in then what, 5th? 4th? Yeah, he finished in the top 5 because of that one move.
Yeah, he just waited his time. When he got a hole, bam, went down to the bottom, and it was just, trying to either pick up more positions or ride it out to the end.
Right.
So
it could be a cool little twist. I mean, obviously, it's going to be a trial and error, and if it ends up being a complete mess and people just aren't getting lined up and all that stuff, then axe it, right? Like, go back.
Go back to the way it was.
But at least they're open to the idea. I think it's just something that could be added. That would be a cool little interesting little tidbit onto the races, and you never know what could happen at that point. You might be having a really bad night but end up having a really good finish just based upon where you choose,
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, shoot, even just like the last couple of weeks from last year, some of the classes, they inverted the whole field based on points, and you get stuck behind some slower traffic, and there's a mix of some fast people up ahead of you, and when you do that, then majority of the time people are going to want to go to the bottom, and it's your chance to kind of get out of the mess and maybe pick up 3 or 4 positions each time. And then instead of trying to navigate your way 3 wide, around some slower cars, you're picking up some positions just because you made a smart strategy.
Right.
Kind of makes you feel like it's like a pit strategy. You can pick up some positions on pit road by having a fast pit stop. Well, you can pick up a couple positions on this. So we'll see.
Yeah. We'll see. It'll be cool. I'm excited about it. I'm excited for to see the racetrack when it's finally all said and done, because they busted their ass out there. I mean, I give them mad credit because they did a lot of work even just in 2 weeks time, right? Like the amount of painting and stuff that's gone on at that place, and the bathrooms. I heard I didn't get a chance to go over to the bathrooms, but I heard the bathrooms were
cleaned up, freshened up. Yeah, at least for the ladies' room, I haven't heard anything about the men's room, but I would assume that the men's room got a good makeover too. But Yeah, our mother went over to the restrooms over there by the concession stands on the pit side, and she was like, "It's clean, it's nice." Maybe they upgraded some of the, um, plumbing, because I know it's kind of funny when you walk into a bathroom and there's a sign that's taped to the wall that says, "If there's a running sink or a running toilet, please let somebody know." Like, maybe we should get that fixed. So I think it's good that they did that. And I know, talking to both Chad and Stacy, um, kind of earlier in the day, they had said that they had really liked coming on the podcast and doing that episode. And because we had over 800 comments, and they said they went through every comment that we had on that podcast episode, and wrote down notes of what people were wanting. Now there was a lot of tech, you know, suggestions, so I think they kind of left that one up to Jim, and the tech people. But as far as upgrades to the facility, or it's something that people want to see at the track, I know that they took a lot of good notes, and they're looking into it. If it hasn't been done yet, it's being looked into going forward.
Yep. So that was a huge plus, because yeah, Jake was fortunate enough to talk to them. I didn't get a chance to talk to them, but that was the feedback that we got was, your voices have been heard. So appreciate everybody for tuning into that episode and using that opportunity to let them know and where you guys felt and what you felt like the needed most improvement. Because I mean, they dug right in and started doing those exact things, right? So I think for all the fans that haven't been out to the racetrack yet, you guys are in for a real good treat, because there has been a lot of work done to that
Yep.
place, and it's still the same track, but it doesn't look the same. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's that TLC we've been talking about
Yes.
previously that just needed to be done. And no hit on Jim or anything at all. But when funds are tight, you gotta make a decision on where you want to put your majority of your funds. So I just know that with the new ownership, they want to give the fan somewhere to go that's a nice facility. You're paying good money to go to the track, and they see that and they appreciate that. So they want to make sure that you have a good experience. So I think
Well,
this year is going to be a good year.
and something we didn't really talk about, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I just don't remember, but something we didn't talk about on the last show that had happened over the last course of the couple 3 weeks or so is advertising. Like, the news stations have given some some
Oh
spotlight
yeah, I
to the racetrack. The
think a couple of
radio
newspapers.
stations, 98.5, KYGO.
There's one newspaper.
Yeah, well, yeah, one newspaper, but still, they did some highlights. Now, granted, it wasn't about exactly like the weekly racing show, but what that does is it does put it out there that there's a racetrack here,
Mhm.
and people. There's a ton of people that I have talked to over the course of the last 5 years that has still had no idea that the racetrack was there.
Yep.
So the little by little, right? Like, it's starting to get into the
Starting to grow.
mainstream and getting out there and getting some spotlight once again, getting some advertisement space. So
Yep.
that's huge.
Yep. So with that said, I guess before we kind of move into preview for this weekend, um, talking with the ownership and Jim, going forward, we have some good news. It's good for us, good for them. The
Good
new
for you
owner,
guys
good for you
watching.
guys also, yeah. To hear it firsthand. We are going to have the new ownership back on the podcast. They kind of want to do a regular thing. It might not be an every month kind of thing, but they do want to, in the next couple weeks, maybe month, jump back on with us and kind of talk about what they've done, what they're going to be doing, kind of the excitement that they've seen so far. But it's just with the season getting started here in the next week, or well, what, 5 days now.
5 days. Yeah.
Um, they kind of want to get into the start of the season, kind of into the next couple weeks before they do that. So plus Stacy, the sister, she lives in Kearney, Nebraska, and Chad lives here in Denver. So trying to coordinate something where if we do it in person, obviously Stacy would have to come out here. Or if we just kind of do it like we do it here with our cameras, we'll work that out. But either way, the other thing is that and this has been talks with Jim for a while, and he kind of liked the idea, brought up kind of the idea a little bit to us as well. We're going to have him on probably once a month for sure. He's going to talk. It's going to be like track talk, right? We're going to talk tech news. We're going to talk racing news. You know, if there's something that happened that needs to be discussed and cleared, you know, cleared up, I should say. That's going to be his kind of chance to come on and tell everybody, because when you read it in the online
Recap.
highlights on the recap,
Yeah.
really you just after post race inspection, the 89 was deemed illegal, and your official winner was the 13S, right? So you don't really know exactly what happens, and then you see people on Facebook complaining this and that. So this is going to be his time to show and tell the story of what happened, why they made the decision, and going forward what's going to happen. So
Right.
look forward to that in the over the summer.
I'm really looking forward to that. I mean, just getting a chance to chat more with him, and again, utilizing what we have here to be able to bring certain things to him and ask him directly, and he's told Jake and I that he's not afraid of having conversations. So
Now, took him a
you-
while
you-
to get on here the first time. For the
it
first
did.
time, I
It
think
took him a while,
it's like
but
you got that, blood, or that like first initial adrenaline about it, and you're like, oh, I want to do it more.
and that's it. And I'm glad. I'm glad that he's opened up to the idea and warmed up to it and warmed up to us specifically. Because I mean, I think it's a huge part of racing in general. I mean, you do see it in parts around the country, but not a lot, where
Yep.
technically usually tracks do their own thing, right? Like they'll put things out on social media and stuff, and you don't have an opportunity to really ask questions and sometimes ask hard questions too, stuff that might make them uncomfortable. But I applaud him, and I applaud Chad and Stacy for wanting to do this and wanting to come on with us
Mhm.
and make it kind of a routine thing, and be able to let you guys know of what's going on at the racetrack and what's to look forward to in the future, and what how's the season going. We can have those kind of conversations and get some of those answers that you guys are looking for. So
Right.
um
I'm excited.
yeah, I mean, excited, and this is this is where me and Jake are going to really truly ask for your guys' help to get the word out there, because
Right.
you know what I mean? Like it's only going to help if we have more people watching, tuning in, asking those questions and whatnot. Like, share the shit out of this and help us, because again, they go back and they read all these comments and they look at everything, and they see what's going on and what you guys are saying. So this is truly a great opportunity for you guys as listeners and watchers to get involved and voice your opinions and know that it's actually going to be heard. So that is the unique thing about this. This is not just for me and Jake. This is a great opportunity for all of you to get involved and really, really get yourselves, in a position to get yourselves heard. So,
Especially when we
yes.
post stuff on Facebook right now, because especially like we said, we have like I think another week, maybe 2, before
Yeah.
this platform will allow us to go live on Facebook, or
Yep.
Facebook will allow us to go live with this platform. But for right now, obviously with us being on YouTube, I think we have about 20 people on right now, so that's good. We could use more, so likes, share, subscribe, and then once we get on Facebook, it'll be easier, because then you can just share the shit out of it on Facebook, and it'll blow up. So, but just that waiting period.
Yep. But that's our exciting news we've been wanting to share. We know we knew we were going to get an opportunity to be able to chat with them again and Jim and have them on, but now we finally got some more definitive answers for you guys about kind of like when and what the repetitiveness is going to really be like for the season. And again, me and Jake are still going to come on here. We're still going to talk our thing and talk about the races and some of the great things that happen and some of the not so great things that happen. That's the unique thing about this, and having you all give your opinions as well, it goes a long way, that's for sure. So super
Yes.
excited about what's to come. Like Jake said, we got racing coming up this weekend. I mean, first night. This is
I was
badass.
trying to
Like I'm
I was
excited.
trying to post, Bruce Buffer on that post this morning I had, where I
Uh-huh.
said, "It's time!" I was trying to get Bruce Buffer on there, but it, like, wouldn't do it with our link with YouTube, so I was like, "Damn it." But hopefully everybody got that, because yeah, I thought that was kinda funny.
It's gonna be awesome. I mean, this weekend is a really good lineup. So we'll kind of go over that now. May 3rd, it is opening night. It is the Lowry Insurance Short Track Season Opener. That is a mouthful.
Ooh,
Gates open at 4 o'clock.
I don't
Racing
wanna
begins
interrupt
at
you for a second, but I
what's
do
that?
see I do see in the comment section, there's a couple people that said that there's an updated schedule. So, for everybody else that's wondering, it is on coloradospeedway.com. If you go click schedule and hit download, it's a newer schedule. I haven't looked at it yet, but I don't know if there's a ton of changes. If there is, obviously, that the SRL not coming into town, that would be one of the biggest changes.
I agreed. That's probably one of the ones. I haven't looked at it thoroughly either.
They
Outside of
also
them,
put in a lot of the sponsor names for the night and, like, what the race night is called. I think that's
right.
probably the biggest changes.
There's been some finalizations of that for sure. I know that, I've talked to Brian Lawrence about it, and I know that there was some still up in the air. But yeah, I mean, I know that a good portion of them are done. Like the season or the schedule, excuse me, is set and it's ready to go. So
Mhm.
like this weekend,
Oh, sorry.
um,
Keep going.
yeah, gates open at 4. Racing begins at 6:30. You can get your tickets online. Obviously, as the racers, we have to get them at the ticket window. But you got the super late models, the late models, the legends, bandoleros, and the mighty trains are going off this weekend. So that's a good opening weekend lineup. I'll be super interested to see how many super lates show up, being that they're on opening night. Praying that there's going to be 15 to 20 of them or so. What are you? You're squinting.
Well, I'm seeing Andrew's comment here about they added a Thursday night race for the legend. Oh god, the Bandos race on a Thursday.
No.
Yeah, so,
What?
Thursday, August 14th, INEX Midseason Championship first feature. It's just legends and bandos. And then Friday the 15th is INX Midseason Legends Championship. Legends, bandos, pure sucks, trains.
Holy
There's
shit.
going to be driver intros. And then Saturday the 16th is going to be the Spears Car Tour West Pro Late Models and Legends, Pro Late Models, Legends, Bandoleros, Super Stocks, Figure Eight. So
Holy crap.
Legends and Bandoleros run 3 straight nights.
I mean, that's pretty cool. I'm
It's
not gonna
cool,
lie. I
but,
mean, that's
a
yeah,
Thursday?
that's gonna be a lot.
Yeah. I
So I'm
don't know
gonna
if
have
I
to
can
take
get
off work,
yeah.
which I'll gladly take off work.
I'll gladly take off work too.
Go support, the kiddos and whatnot. Now that we got 2 of them from our team racing, that'll be. But school starts then.
Right. That's why I'm like,
They're gonna have to take off of school.
and I don't, and that's probably an INEX thing. Obviously, I don't think that's a Colorado National Speedway thing. I think that's an INX. Well, since we're going to be there, we might as well do a full show, I guess. I
I
don't
mean,
know. Maybe that's
interesting.
something we can ask Jim when he comes on.
First week back, they're gonna be taking 2 days off of school. What are you guys doing? What's your excuse? Oh, I'm going racing.
Yeah.
Excuse me, what?
Come back. So you go to get off Thursday, come back Friday with a trophy and a trophy class.
Yeah.
I can win
What'd
another
you
one
do this
tonight.
weekend?
I'm going back to the track. Bye.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
that's funny. Oh, I mean, thank you, Andrew, for pointing that out because
Yeah.
I didn't even see that.
He
So now I'm
doesn't
gonna
notice
really
that.
have to go through the schedule and make sure that all the weekends that we were supposed to be off were actually off.
So I'm guessing looking at this schedule, anything in blue has been updated, I would assume.
Are you
There's things in blue, like the INEX Midseason Legends Championship since that was added. Oh,
I
well, no,
see.
maybe not. I don't know. I don't know.
I see.
Well,
Okay. I like downloaded the actual version that you're looking at just now and I can see
yeah,
that. Okay.
but I don't know. We'll have to see.
Oh boy.
That'll be a good question for Jim when we get him on.
Yes, that will be. Oh boy.
I don't see
Well,
any other Thursdays, so I think we're good. There are still 2 other Fridays, but one's 4th of July. The other one, obviously the 15th. I thought there was another
well,
one. No,
the June 14th one was supposed to be the SRL night, so it's still the same lineup, but it's now the Buckeye Welding Supply Acres and Sparks Super Late
Mhm.
Model 100, and I don't know what they're gonna do for the GAMs if they're even gonna do anything. So
Oh, blue equals special, red equals touring. Oh, I
Yeah.
guess if I scrolled all the way down and looked at the
the key,
index or key, yeah,
the key,
might be
yeah.
helpful. Thank you,
Yeah.
Andrew. Sometimes we're not smart. We just kind of like, you know, like women say, "Did you look beyond the end of your nose?"
Yeah. No.
Did you, like my mother says all the time, "Did you look like a man or did you look like a woman?" Because a woman would have saw that.
Well,
Sorry, ladies.
she's
on here.
probably watching this, but sometimes it could hit her in the face and she still wouldn't see it.
What was that?
Yeah. Probably gonna get slapped at some point this weekend for that comment, but I'll gladly take it.
That's okay. I was messing with my wife earlier, and Dad's out in the garage, and she's like standing in the hallway, and I was messing with her, and she goes, "Are you talking to me?" I'm like, "Yes, I'm talking to you." What? And I'm just like, "Oh my God, woman." I was like, "Gullible is written on the ceiling." She just comes running down and gives me the finger.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, yeah, I already got a text message.
Did you?
Yeah, I'm about to get slapped.
Yeah. In the
Um,
morning, you're gonna get scared. Mom's gonna
Anywho, oh, that's exciting. That'll be kind of cool. I mean, shoot now. So we have a Thursday, Friday, Saturday weekend this year, and then a Friday, Saturday this weekend or this year for 4th of July.
Mhm.
That's all right. All right. I like that. I like that.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of fans that may not like a Thursday, but you don't technically have to go. It's just Legends and Bandos, so it's their
Well,
midseason championships.
and I thought I saw a comment earlier. Somebody was asking about if Flow Racing was coming back this year. I
Well,
haven't.
Flow is doing the big races like the Cars Tour because they're already contractually obligated to do that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about like the INEX stuff from Thursday and Friday. I don't know how that's going to work out, but I'm pretty sure low budget is going to come back because, like Jim said, when we had the new ownership on, late last year, that everybody liked it. He asked if everybody liked it, and we said yes. So I do assume they're going to keep doing that
I'm
because they talked
assuming.
about doing new camera angles around the track.
Right.
So we'll see.
We'll definitely see. We'll if we hear anything, we'll let everybody know, obviously. But I mean, if they don't, I think they could definitely take an opportunity and get on with somebody else, or um, oh, excuse me, or do their own thing, like do a YouTube channel. You know what I mean? Like do it
Like
live
they
and
also did.
like Owasso did. That was pretty cool.
Yep.
You could pay a
But they kinda
monthly
lost on that
subscription,
deal. Not a whole
huh?
lot of not a whole lot of people bought into because you have to pay for each night. It's not like a subscription. You
Oh,
have to
I thought
pay
it
for
was
the
like a monthly fee that you could
I
pay.
think
Oh,
it
you had to pay per night?
I think you had to pay per night.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't do that either then.
Yeah.
Like, if you could do a subscription base like they do with low budget where you pay like 20 bucks a month to watch
Yeah,
it, I would totally do that.
yeah. I think it
But
was kinda like the old pay-per-view kinda thing,
right.
you know?
But
But
you c but on, like, YouTube and stuff, you could just wait 4 days and then
oh, yeah,
watch it
well,
for
they
free.
they uploaded it the next day, so it was like, all you gotta do is look for the results on Facebook, and then if you wanna go back and watch it, you just wait the next day and it was uploaded.
Yeah, the intent was there, the delivery was not.
Right.
Yeah.
And you
So
don't know until you try it. Now that they tried it, it's like, "Yeah, we're not gonna do that."
yeah, exactly. But anywho, yeah, if anybody's got any questions, shoot them out now. Otherwise, we're gonna kind of wrap this up. Looking forward to this weekend. Get your butts out there, go check out the racetrack, support it. They've done a lot, so let's show them some love back and let's really pack those stands this year.
Yep.
I
Especially
have
since a lot of them are new and upgraded and looking
mhm,
nice. Let's get some butts in the seats.
get some butts in the seats and looking forward to seeing how many new race cars show up. I mean, practice was any indication, we're in for a good year for car count. That's for sure.
Yep.
I don't know what it's looking like, obviously, on the super late model end. That's always a hit or miss, to be honest, because those are really expensive race cars. I mean, I hope to God that there are, 15 to 20 that show up, but you never know.
I hope that class here needs to be, I guess not revamped, but reinvigorated.
Yes, reinvigorated. Last year it was a down year for them. That's for
Mhm.
sure. On many occasions it was what, 9, 10, 11, somewhere right in between
I think
there.
one night they had like 8.
Yeah.
So
So fingers crossed.
Mhm.
But it's looking really good for the rest of the divisions. I know there's a ton of late models, ton of trucks. Gams is looking like there's going to be 30 of them freaking things.
Mhm.
But we won't know until we get through the next couple weeks and see how many of them show up. So super
Right.
excited about that. Going to have some content, obviously, for next week. Break down the racing action from this upcoming weekend, and really looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. It was a good weekend this last weekend. Just to get out and see everybody's bright and shining faces. It's been what, since October, so 6, 7 months that we've really been able to see all of our racing family, racing friends,
Yeah.
racing community. So it's good to kind of catch up with people and, um, say how you doing, give them a hug, have a good year.
Yep.
So yeah, and then get sunburnt, of course.
That's true. Yeah, it is the relationships, that you build with people and getting a chance to talk with. I mean, we were talking with a bunch of new people that I'd never met before this last
Yeah.
weekend, and it was great. I mean, we're all one tight-knit group, I would
Mhm.
say. We're all out there for the same thing, so it was fun to kind of chit chat with some people you never met before and
Yep.
get their background and you know
See
see
some
where
people
they were.
that haven't raced in a while and got
Yeah,
a car and coming back out and,
yeah.
people switching classes, and so it's gonna be good.
All right, so we have one question here. I'm gonna pull this up, and then you go ahead and answer for yourself, and then I'll answer. So if you want to read it off too.
All right, Mr. Marky Bremkamp, starting it off good. What are your expectations both as a team and then as separate drivers for this season? Well, I'll start for the team aspect, and hopefully me and Jordan have pretty much the same answers here. But really, and especially with the girls, we've been really hounding them on this part too, is that we are a team, right? Like, I'm excited if he does better than me. He's excited if I do better than him. Obviously, if you had a down night, it sucks, but you always want to cheer on and congratulate, your team that did do well. Be part of your team that did do well. So, with the girls, they are they are starting to show their competitiveness against each other. So, trying to just make sure they understand, um, if one of you doesn't win or doesn't finish good, you still go up and congratulate the one that did, and in return, the one that didn't, or, that did do good, go back to the other one that didn't do good and say, "Hey, you know what? It's okay. Put a smile on your face. We're here. We're having fun,
Mhm.
and get them next time." Right? For me and Jord, we kind of want to work together. We're not going to be blocking people or anything like that, but if we're in a situation where both of us can have a really good finish, no matter what it is, then you know what? We're not gonna push the issue on each other. Obviously, you wanna beat each other, right? If he's in the lead, I obviously wanna pass him and get the win, but if it's one of those situations where we're putting both our cars in, hairy situations and it might not be good for either one of us and don't wanna wreck, then you just try and finish good, right? And, um, move on to the next week. So, but for me, obviously, I wanna win. I wanna win! My dad likes to say from Napoleon, or, not Napoleon
Nacho
Dynamite.
Libre.
Nacho Libre. "I want a queen!" Um, we're both out here to win races, right? That's what it's all about. That's why you build cars. That's why you come out. That's why you spend the time in the garage, and you wanna do good and you wanna win races. And, for Jordan and I, it's been 3 years now since we've won a race. I know Jord, that night Ed got disqualified, Jord got the win. But in the same regard, and I hopefully he thinks the same way, is you wanna beat Ed, right? If you're gonna win, you beat those people, right?
That
You
old
know,
man talks a lot of shit,
he does talk a lot of shit. Um,
but I love
we
him.
love him. Yeah. But, want to go out and win and do well. And, I'm not going to be at every CNS race. There's 2 races this year that we're going to try and do the Midwest Modified Tour race at Owasso, which then 2 weeks later is the Hot Shoe at Owasso. So in between there is a CNS race where I might not be there. So I'm not going to be running for a championship by any means, but I am going to be running for some wins and also helping this guy out, and hopefully both of us can be top 5 in the points by the end of the year.
Yeah, I mean, I agree as a team. I mean, just go out there and compete and try to do well and let the night unfold. And if you do well, great. If you don't, I mean, we're still having fun. It's still, we do this as a family. And I know a lot of other people do the same thing. And the competitiveness is there and the emotions are high and there's a lot of money involved in racing. And I totally get that. But, at the core of it, this is a family thing for us. It's a way that we all can get together and enjoy a common ground of something that we enjoy doing. And, the fact that I got both my daughters doing it now. I mean, I never in a million years would ever thought that they would have wanted to race at all. Them growing up, I'm thinking cheerleading or gymnastics or something of that sort, right? Like, but now that the both of them were wanting to race, I mean, it's just, I'm over the moon as a dad. Like, this is fantastic. So like Jake said, just trying to keep them humble and really think about, not being competitive against each other or the other, or, but being competitive against other people, going out and doing the right things, learning the right things, how to do stuff in the shop and what's really going to set yourself apart and hopefully get yourself in a position where you can win. You're not going to win every single night. It's impossible. But to just give yourself the best chance. And that's the approach that I'm looking at from our team standpoint going into the season, is just giving ourselves the best chance to win. We've busted our ass, and a lot of people do this. I was having a conversation with Jeremy Wall about this the other day, actually, at the racetrack. It's not just about going out on Saturday night and competing. It's about what you do leading up to that week. It's the weeks prior to that. And the amount of time and the amount of effort that you're willing to put into the garage, it's going to show out on the racetrack. And we spend a lot of time, and we haven't had the results that we wanted, and no excuses, whether, I've screwed up in the driver's seat or something happened, I mean, it is what it is, but you go out there and you try to have fun and enjoy it. I mean, yeah, you go out there to win, but not necessarily going to beat myself up over if I don't, in a sense too. I'm not going to NASCAR. We're not getting any rides from, we're not getting any calls.
Money.
Yeah, we're not getting any phone calls from Rick Hendrick. You know what I mean? But yeah, my goal is to just go out there and compete for wins. Cause I mean, I know a lot of people talk about, I want to win a championship. I mean, everybody does, but if you go out there with the mindset of to go win races and you win a couple, you put yourself in position to win a championship. I mean, you can't, just like in football, when we used to do football, you can't win a championship until you start winning games. And, you take every game and every race as it is, and you try to focus on, getting yourself in the best position to do that. So that's my goal. Just go out and try to win races, compete hard, have fun, enjoy it. I don't know how much longer we're going to be able to do this. Don't know, but go out every race and enjoy the hell out of it.
Yeah, I got told the other day, me and my dad were at On Track getting some stuff for my car, and I don't remember who it was, asked about the girls, and we talked about the practice this weekend and how well they did and how they're liking it and stuff, and they were like, "Well, what's next?" And Dad's like, well, this one better get used to, or better start figuring stuff out, or else the next couple years girls are going to be replacing him in the modifieds, and they're going to be retiring, and he's going to be retiring. I'm like, no, I don't think so. He's like, oh, you don't think so? I'm still your father. Like, well, until I'm dead, then I'm going to be in a modified, at least some sort of car. You know what? I'll switch it up. I'll go in the Bandolero and she can go in the modified.
Dude, Your fucking ass going
I
into a bando? No
oh my
way.
God, I wouldn't fit.
No,
I've tried sitting in a Legend.
your
No,
foot wouldn't fit,
no, I've
let
tried
alone
it.
you.
I do it. Yeah.
The
At
amount of
least I'm
customization we have to do to your race car just to get your feet to fit is
the modified. Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah. Just on the modified alone, it was bad.
If anybody ever wants to see the modifications that we have to do to his car just to get his feet to fit, by all means, come over to the pits and we'll show you.
Yeah. Let's just say last year, I mean, I was still a little scrunched last year, but we made it work. But this year we extended it even more. But since I got to drive the Cassidy Hines Pro Truck, well, actually, I guess that was 2 years ago now.
That was 2 years, yeah.
I got to drive Cassidy Hines Pro Truck. She wanted to try and, see what it felt like in a GAM. So I was like, hey, go jump in mine. We literally had to give her like a 4 or 5 inch back pad and like a 3 or 4 inch butt pad just to raise her up above the steering wheel
Get
and
her
then
close
get her
enough.
butt to go close enough to the gas pedals, and then we had to put a block underneath her foot because like I have a size 16 foot, so we had to raise her foot just so she could get to the throttle pedal because I have one of those Joe's pedals, so at least it's a full foot pedal. But yeah, it was pretty funny just to try and get her in a car.
Yeah,
How much we had to do.
I give Jake shit all the time about how 6'4", 200+ pound people are not meant to be in race cars. Like it's just, yeah, mathematically speaking, they're not meant to be that way.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because a lot of us GAM drivers are all in a Facebook chat together, and I remember it was last year or something. They were talking about something and weight, and Nathan Gasser said something about being 200 pounds and he's fat, and I'm like, 200 pounds is fat? Fuck. I guess I'm like, or he's like 190 or something like that. I can't remember, but I was like, 200 pounds is fat? Shit, I must be flabby as hell. And I think it was Jace Hansen jumps on there. He's like, no, that's what happens when you're 7 foot tall. You don't look fat.
I'm morbidly obese at that point.
Yeah. It was pretty funny. Like, yeah, I guess so. And then you look around when you're at the pit, like the pit meeting, and you're just like, you can see over everybody, and you're like, oh, I guess I kind of am pretty tall.
Yeah, there's a few of you guys that are.
Yeah. There's a few other people out there, and Mark Neff's friggin' tall too. So
Yeah, he's tall.
Yeah.
Jace is tall. I mean, he's over 6 foot. So there's a few of you, but
Yeah.
not many, but
Oh.
few.
Oh, Mr. John Squealy. Hi, how you doing from North Carolina? Shoot, it's like, oh yeah, I called him last night, or maybe no, it was last night. We were talking, and he's out in North Carolina working, and I was just telling him stories and stuff, and I was like, hopefully you have enough time. He's like, oh, I got all night. I'm working all night out here.
Oh shit.
Oh, that sucks. And it was like probably right about now. I think it was about 9:48 for him, almost 10
Damn.
o'clock. Yeah, I was like, dang, dude. He's like,
Damn.
yeah, it's all right. But he's planning on being out here racing, so
Yeah,
we good to
that's
see
gonna be awesome.
him.
Gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a good year. I'm excited about this. All the excitement around the racetrack, the drivers. You can just feel it. Feel the energy when you walk into that place, and it's
Yeah.
fantastic.
When
So
I hear that, I think of the Ultimate Warrior in that like video. He's like, you can feel it. You can feel it, dude.
you and your wrestling adages,
Well, just the random things that pop in my brain when I hear certain things.
Yeah,
like,
and what you correlate them to, and like, yeah.
Mhm.
Oh my God. Anyways, all right, guys. Well, looking forward to this weekend. Appreciate everybody coming on and spending an hour with us. Sorry for the technical difficulties at the very beginning there. We'll get those all figured out. But in the meantime, I appreciate everybody taking the time to come on and enjoy the show with us. Really looking forward to this weekend, checking everybody out. Come say hi and come say hello. Check it out. It's going to be great. I have no doubt opening night's going to be a winner. So that's it from me. Jake, anything?
Just reiterate the same thing. Just looking forward to it. Everybody have fun this weekend. Be safe. Bring your sunscreen so you're not like us where you get fire roasted in amount of 4 hours. But yeah, looking forward to seeing everybody's faces. Like George said, come check us out. Come to the pits. Talk to us a little bit. Tell us, maybe some topics you want us to talk about on the podcast. Please get an autograph from our nieces, especially Addie, since she's new. She's very, very looking forward to signing autographs. So please, 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 please grab an autograph if you come say hi. It will make her day. So
Yes.
yes. But yeah, other than that, looking forward to seeing everybody and get out to the track and support your local racing.
All right. With that being said, this is episode 3 with Hitting the Chip with Jake and Jordan. And until next time, we'll catch you guys on the flip side. See ya.